This is Cocobod National Park. Now, we have not get in touch or get closer to the walkway itself yet, but we are almost to the place. Now, the canopy walkway was constructed on 1995. Now, it's 350 long and then 40-meter height. And then the bridge was constructed by 2 Canadians as well as 5 Ghanaians, making it 7 in number. And then out of the 7, we have 1 among us. And that person, maybe definitely you may see the person. The person is in charge of handling the canopy walkway. So that is all about the walkway that we are going to embark on this afternoon. That's the walkway and then the nature walk. Now someone was asking me the time we were coming that he wanted to see an elephant. And I said, please, by this time it will be possible for him to see that elephant. If you wanted to see the elephant or whatever animal you wanted to see, unless you arrange for the nature walk. So if you wanted to make a way through this place, unless you you make a booking over there so that a guide will lead you through the rainforest. But going to the walkway is impossible for us to see those wild animals. And those wild animals, normally, because of the nature of number of people who normally patronize the place, it scares them away.
This now tells you technology is here.
So yeah.
Ọlọ́dọ̀ àgbà mi lọ́nu, ọ̀gá yóò wá bí mo sọ̀rọ̀. But before we start, we look at the background. This is Elmina Castle, or St. George's Castle. When the castle was built, it was dedicated to the King of Portugal, called St. George. The Portuguese came here in 1471, and they came here to trade. The system of trade was barter, exchange of goods for goods. So they brought tobacco, gunpowder, beverages, and then mirror. And they were interested in gold and ivory. So the rate at which Elmina people were giving the Portuguese gold in exchange of tobacco and then wine gave the Portuguese an idea that the whole land here was full of gold. So they named the place Elmina, meaning the mine. Yeah. Another name for Elmina is Edina. Yeah. Edina is also a Portuguese word, Aldebe. They were here for 155 years. In 1637, Portuguese were captured by the Dutch. The Dutch were not here. They were at the village we call Muri. So they came here and continued with the slave trade. And they were here for 235 years. 1872, the Dutch sold the place to the British. British came here after the abolition of the slave trade. So they used the place as SAR administrative center. They trained policemen and soldiers here to fight for them in Burma and India during the Second World War. And we call them Royal West African Frontier Force. They were here for 85 years. In 1957, Ghanaians took over from the British. So we are here for 50 years. So the place is 525 years. It is the biggest and the oldest to be built in Sub-Saharan Africa, connected to the slave trade.
500.
I have enough time. I'm going to cut it short. This is a female slave yard. Initially, the rooms were used as royal house. This is where they kept their goods. And later in the 16th century, the intendant women were kept there to time. All these rooms, 400. And there were those soldiers were here with guns, guiding them. At the center here is a reservoir. Yeah, it holds 20,000 gallons of water at a time. Rain water. They trap the water here. The two pipes on the wall. And down here, they purify the water, transfer to this room. This is where they go from. They are occupying the room. There's somebody going there. So they move Please, we are now in the largest female dungeon. 150 women were kept here at the time. They placed empty containers there for them to go to toilets, but there were many. So the floor here was full of toilets, vomits, urine, and then menstrual blood. They slept here, ate here at the same time. We have a hole there. That is where we call ventilation. That hole is connected to the magazine, where they kept ammunitions. So sometimes chemicals from there kill some of the women. When they died, they were not buried. They lifted the bodies, tied stones here, threw it into the sea. They were fed, but the food was not good. They said if they give them good food, they will get energy to fight them. Some ate, and some refused to eat. They preferred to die. They brought them from far away, from the hinterland, from Niger, Mali, Nigeria, Togo, Benin, Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast, and northern Ghana. And that time, no car. They walk. So they spent 2 months on the journey before they came here. Here, 2 to 3 months, waiting for the ship. They moved them. There was a slave market at the north, Salagana. They moved another 1,000, will come and replace them. They got the slave through tribal wars and then African raiders. They bought guns from here, they were going around. They would come to your house one day, burn the house down, capture you, your wife, and the children, brought here and sold. And some of the Europeans also captured the Africans. But they worked with the African men. They were using the guns. So this is how they got them. It was the Africans who brought them here. So that time, malaria was very, very pandemic. So those who came here to trade, they left their women there. So they raped the female slaves. The governor did it, pastors, merchants, and the soldiers. We have a balcony here. Anytime the governor wanted to pick one of the women to rape, he stood there, ordered the soldiers to open all the gates round. 400 women came out. He looked through and picked one. Soldiers fetched water from there for the woman to bath. And after that, they gave her food to eat, to give her strength. The woman walked through this place. Let's empty this so that soldiers also took the share.
What do you mean by they took their share?
They also raped the woman. We had 200 European soldiers here, no woman.
So they were also...
That one became very, very close. So when the ships came, they screened all the women, those who were pregnant. They moved them from here to Zina town. They gave birth. 4 years later, they brought the children here for training. And these children, they became the first elites in the community. Some of them became interpreters and administrators. And this explains more reason why today, if you walk along the coast, you see light color skin or mulattoes. Or you hear names such as Vanderpoy, Van Dyke, De Souza, De Heer, Da Costa, Vroom, Battels, Ferguson, Turkson. Yeah, they are all European names. They are not our local. We've changed on them. Specially designed for punishment, very, very heavy. Any woman who resisted rape from the soldiers will be chained on the legs and you'll be standing here. No food, no water, to serve as a deterrent to the rest. So that anytime they call you for rape, you submit yourself for punishment. This is a female exit leading to the room of no return. When the ships came, the women that survived, they moved them in chains, the hands and the legs, through this place to the room of no return into the ship. There were steps, but now we have a drainage. These are in 1948 by the British. That time they trained policemen and soldiers here. So they put them here to prevent accidents. British used Cape Coast Castle for the slave trade and this place for administration. We have the tour of the castle now on cassette, DVD. It covers Asimanso, where they shaved them. They took their last bath in the river and other historical sites in town. When you finish, you can get them because you don't have enough time. Let's go.
Who knows?
Sodomy also took place. All the rooms down, about 9 rooms, including this one for the men. And there were 600, 400, 600, 1,000 at a time. The first floor there is the governor's residence. Beneath, deputy governor, soldiers, merchants, missionaries around this one.
Missionaries.
Yes.
Yeah.
They brought
They were looking for gold.
It's a church. Portuguese church. The first Roman Catholic church along the coast of West Africa. Brought by the Portuguese, where they worship God. And the slaves were here. Please, the church was in town, but the Portuguese worshipped with the local people. But they thought the locals were giving information about them. So they brought the church here. There were long towers. When the Dutch came here in 1637, they removed the towers. And they said they were not Catholics, they were Protestants. So they opened a new church out there called Dutch Reformed Church. We shall see it very soon. This is one of the dungeons for the men. And we call this place Transit Hall. So 120 men were kept here at a time. The content there was similar to this place. But this is not the original floor, this is cement. We have a peephole here. All the male dungeons are having peepholes for soldiers, where they were spying them. Because the men were planning attacking the soldiers. When they saw you here, they moved you from here to the side and from that side. There, no food, no water. Just yeah. They were branded. They put metal into fire and they were stamping them. Trademark for easily identification. So that is where the branding was done. Branding room. The women were giving tags for the name, but the men were branding. Let's go to the place. This is where the Africans sang their last song. Because from here, they will never see the coast of Africa again. If you die on board, the body will be thrown into the sea. The gate was very wide from corner here to that end. But later, when they started the slave trade, they narrowed it this way so that they will not escape. And those who were fat, because of poor ventilation, poor feeding, and thinking, the dangers for 3 months, they became very thin. And they could easily run through the gates. The sea was touching the castle, and now the sea is receding. We have the remains of the jetty down there. So all the ships were anchored there. They used smaller boats taking them from here into the ship. And they were sent to Java, America, Brazil, Suriname, Haiti, and Jamaica. And this is the main reason why today, if you walk around, you see the Africans scattered all over. At the back here, we have bricks. Yeah, they were left here by our brothers and sisters in the diaspora in the memory of those innocent people that they captured through this place. So that this, yeah. So that time, if you enter this room, you are going this way. But today we are very lucky. Let's go. Mosquitoes killed one of the Dutch governors, and the name was Van Tex. He came from Zealand. He came here on the 16th January 1758. Died on the 12th March, the same year, at the age of 41. When the governor died here, there was a pastor called A. Andres. He came from Veer, one of the villages here in Holland. He wrote something short in the memory of the governor. This one, he said, Van Tex was a God-fearing man, an honest person and a noble man. At the time of slavery.
In spite of his activities.
He came and raped, bought and sold human beings, killed some there. Now look at what this pastor was saying. He was buried down here. Text. Yeah.
We can the bones.
And the grave is here, but we don't know whether it gets separate. Two separate cells. Going to lock the gates.
Original key.
Ventilation, yeah, there was no ventilation.
Raping the women anyhow. When they were caught by the officers, they were sent there for few minutes. Few hours, yeah.
You have to rape them in a disciplined fashion, right?
So the room there is well ventilated. I have the second one here called condemned cell or dead cell. Look at the skull and the crossbones, original one. For those slaves who were fighting for their freedom, they said they wanted to go home. When the soldiers captured them, they were sent there. No food, no water. They were there till death. Condemned cell. The holes on the gates, they put them there for soldiers to peep there and remove dead bodies, not for ventilation. The wall here and a similar one there, the corner there, were additions made by the Dutch when they came here in 1637 to reinforce the castle, to support the castle. The iron rails were put here in 1948 by the British for their policemen and soldiers. They climbed them for training to make them physically strong. If you want to try it, then you can go.
Hold it to climb.
Sir, let's finish the top. By the Dutch for their soldiers towards the sea. That time, enemies of the sea was set. The British came here, they turned them as prisons. Today we call them Prempe's home because Prempe was in prison here for 4 years and later transferred to Freetown for 1 year. And he was moved to Seychelles for 23 years. But he didn't die there. They brought him back to Ghana and he died here in 19... I've forgotten the dates. Yeah, so if you come to Elmina today, you say you're going to Prempe's on 1 day. Santo was also in prison here. Later transferred to Seychelles. Fort St. Jago. It was built by the Dutch in 1665 for their soldiers to watch the land and protect this place. These are cannons, machine guns. They were used to defend the castle and they traveled 3 kilometers for defense. Down here we call this place service center or workshop. This is where they repair their machines. We have a river here called River Benya. Benya River. It takes itself from far away and it enters the sea here. Down here we have 2 moats. Outer moat and the inner moat. Another defense mechanism designed by the Dutch. There's a drawbridge there. Anytime enemies were coming here to attack, soldiers moving down here. The outer moat with water from the river. The bridge this way, enemies will not cross for defense. Simon Dutch, outer moats, inner moats. The sea was for navigational purpose. It is also used as a sandal. You can put pole in the middle, use the shadow to tell time, designed by the Dutch. The open space here, that is Old Elmina village or Anomansa village. Yeah. When the British came here, they were still having arms. They asked them to hand over their arms, they refused. So British bombarded the village. Now they're staying on top of the hill. 11 years ago, the place was fenced for future archaeological excavations. Come to Elmina, you say you're going to the first Elmina village in the place.
Baya,